Welcome to Lessons for Life, coming to you live on a Monday night. And this is the show where we have to be very, very careful about what we say and what we do not say. And we are not implying anything when we read these news stories. I am simply regurgitating some stories that have been in the press. And we'll start with this one. Jean-Luc Brunel held on suspicion of supplying girls to Epstein, found hanged. He has met a similar fate as his friend Epstein. Now, we know the hashtag Epstein didn't kill himself was doing the rounds. Did Jean-Luc Brunel kill himself? He was found hanged. The implication is that he killed himself. Why would he do that? I wonder. Well, he was a former model scout, and he stood accused of trafficking underage girls to Jeffrey Epstein, and he's been found dead in his prison cell. As I often say to Mac, who might join us in a moment, it would be more of a coincidence if there were never any coincidences. Now, we're going to run through a couple of other stories that have been doing the rounds in the news, a couple of suspicious deaths. I don't know if they are interlinked. I am not saying that they are, but you can read the stories for yourself and draw your own conclusions. But whenever anyone dies in a prison cell in these circumstances, somehow, as luck would have it, it seems that the cameras were not rolling. Please tell me that isn't the case again. How could another individual who must have been on suicide watch not have been watched when he allegedly, well, they're not even saying that he committed suicide, just that he was found hanged in his cell. But of course, that is the implication. And how about this? Another story, another suspicious death. Bernie Madoff's sister has been found dead with her husband, and Bernie Madoff was behind the largest Ponzi scheme. He was ripping people off. Now, is that a reason why his sister would be found dead with her husband in an apparent murder suicide? Maybe not. Maybe not at all. But when individuals are surrounded by such controversy, when a tragedy seemingly befalls their family, you can't help but wonder and be a little bit suspicious. Is it linked? Is it coincidental that it happened in the same week? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. And what about this story? This and that. Yeah, this is the sister. They were found dead on Thursday in their home in Florida, and it's apparently a a murder suicide. And they're not saying which one did the murder and which one killed themselves. But your guess is as good as mine. Now, another suspicious death this week. Bob Saget. Head injury was so severe it was like he'd been hit with a baseball bat, said doctor. And I had read that he sustained two head injuries, which is a little bit like Kurt Cobain's alleged suicide with a shotgun that he wouldn't have been able to fire due to the length of the barrel. Is it really likely that you'd kill yourself with two head injuries? Maybe. But this looks like he'd been hit with a baseball bat. I mean, what was the official verdict on this one? Accidental death, that he fell down. But now it's looking suspicious. And of course, Bob Saget admitted that he had made inappropriate gestures on the set of Full House, the program that he famously starred in. Was he as inappropriate as the likes of Epstein? There's nothing to suggest that, but it'd be more of a coincidence if we didn't have Mac. Welcome, Mac. Are you there?
Hello.
Good evening, Mac. Great to have you with us. We've got you via audio, and we're also going to have Ozone with us as well. We're going to
Hey, you guys.
have a bit of a chat. Yeah, welcome, Ozone. Welcome, Mac. Am I being a paranoid tinfoil hat wearer, or have there been a few suspicious deaths this week? Go for it, Mac, and then we'll get Ozone in.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say suspicious. I mean, we'd probably expect more because of the antidote they got for the thing that's going on, the big scam.
Thank you. As I say on this show, we have to be careful all the time.
I'm not using the word antidote.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. There's a lot of there's a lot of smoke and mirrors and smoke screens. Ozone, what do you think? Am I jumping the gun to throw Bob Saget in there with this baseball bat-like injury?
I actually was going to say that what is the coincidence with all of these guys? And I have heard some Me Too rumors, let's say.
Right. Me Too rumors. That's a good way of putting it. We are fluent in code here. And yeah, he did say that he was inappropriate on the set. But I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill if he's just an honest man who said, you know what, I crossed the line a couple of times on what was meant to be a family show.
I think from the response of the other comedians that I've heard that supported him, it is very much like that, more than something severe.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's not speak too ill of the dead in that case. What about this one? This is Epstein's accomplice, Jean-Luc Brunel, who's seen on the flight here. Jean-Luc Brunel held on suspicion.
Saget was on the flight, sorry.
Well, this is what I am unclear about. I don't know, and I think not. I think Saget has not been accused of such. Someone who has been accused of it is Mr. Gates, the famous philanthropist, and he refused to explain why he went on Jeffrey Epstein's notorious Lolita Express. Clinton was on there. Bill Clinton ditched the Secret Service on multiple Lolita Express flights.
I can confirm that Bob Saget is not on the flight log.
Very good, very good. It's good to have that information, and I absolutely retract any implication that he might have been suggested to be on this channel. Like I say, we are just reading the stories, and let's not go any further than that. Great. So Bob Saget not on the flight. Bill Clinton definitely was. When Ghislaine Maxwell was asked if she remembered being, or if she'd ever flown with Bill Clinton, she said she couldn't remember. Do you think you wouldn't remember sitting next to Bill Clinton on a private jet?
Well, she was also at his wedding, wasn't she?
Oh, there you go then. Family friend.
I think that's quite hilarious that she denies remember sitting next to him when she was at his wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And there's photos of that.
Yeah. Well, we've cleared Bob Saget's name in terms of the flight log. Another story that came up after his death is the fact that the family has filed a lawsuit to block the release of records from the investigation of his sudden death court documents show. But then again, isn't that could just be the entitlement to privacy when a family member passes away. So we mustn't muddy the waters when we're looking for truth. I know we're all truth seekers on this channel, and we love a good story and a good conspiracy. But things like this can sometimes lead you down the wrong path. And I wouldn't do that. But I would be much more suspicious of Mr. Clinton who is still alive for now. He doesn't look very well. But how is it people like him are still going strong? He's not going to hang himself in jail, is he? Is he too high up the pyramid, so to speak? Is he untouchable? What do you think, Ozone?
He's a high degree.
No, go on, Mac.
No, go on, Mac.
I was just saying he would be untouchable because he would. First of all, he's a president, well, ex-president, so they're a bit untouchable.
Yeah, once a president, the Secret Service stays with you for life, right?
Yeah. That's
well, unless you tell them you can have an hour off, lads. I don't need you, which seems to be the case on these flights. You didn't want the Secret Service there.
No, but I mean, even now, he's not the president. The Secret Service.
No, but he's protected if he needs it.
Yeah, it's for life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for life.
Is that for life?
Yeah.
So you stay an ex-president and with that security detail with your secret. So I think it's the same thing as each president has a new Secret Service. You know, it's an actual new, like they get replaced each time and they stay with that president for life.
Well, President Kennedy was the president for life. It just didn't last as long as it might have. Wow. He wasn't protected very well that day, was he?
But with regards to Jean-Luc Brunel now dying in prison, I would go to say as there are some that we've thought of as untouchables. I would have said Jean-Luc as one of them as well. So that is a surprise.
Wow. I wonder what demotes you from being untouchable. Knowing too much, I suppose.
Well, I guess if they corner you, and then obviously if they're scared that you got too much to give away, and that's when they'll probably demote you because then you'll know too much, and then if at any moment at a moment's notice you can just spill all of this information, this is where you become a threat.
This is why Prince Andrew has settled out of court.
Yes, and all this comes the very week that he did settle out of court for 12 million. 12 million to a woman he'd never met, apparently.
And from the UK taxpayers.
Yeah, it is a difficult one. A friend of mine who is a police officer, I remember him relating a story about a fellow officer who pulled over a car for suspected drink driving and found that the woman driver was a very senior officer, and he thought he was doing the right thing by saying, "Oh, very sorry, ma'am, there's a mistake here, on you go," when she was clearly drunk behind the wheel, and the next day she sacked him.
Wow, because he knew too much.
I guess because he knew too much, he would have had something on her.
Yeah, but wouldn't that provoke him to go and actually take it further? Because he's lost his job anyway.
But then you got.
Well, how far can he take it with no evidence? Yeah.
That's one of those whole dilemmas where they say you've got two people at a crossroads, right? One of them's gonna always lie, the other one's gonna tell the truth. How do you get?
Oh yes, the famous riddle. That's in that film with David Bowie, Labyrinth. Great film and great riddle. And the answer is you ask one of them,
both of them, what the other one would say.
What the other one would say, and then do the opposite, and then you're and then you can work it out. Yeah, great to see you, gentlemen. Good to have you on the screen. We'll keep it brief tonight. I just wanted to touch upon these stories. There's not much more we can say than what's been said. Only that I probably should have had Prince Andrew on the screen as well. The Queen, bless her, is not very well. She's got a cold at the moment, and you know we're all.
I think Boris is going to have another party.
Boris is probably partying like mad, and the world keeps turning. We will have to do something about Vladimir Putin soon because he's public enemy #1 at the moment. And I'm reading tonight that he has recognized the separatist eastern parts of Ukraine, the People's Republic of Donetsk, and that.
Since you mentioned Ukraine, have you noticed when Trump was in the power, when he did he was kind of called out for doing a quid pro quo with the Ukrainian about Joe Biden to reveal or to investigate him or something. Do you remember that?
Okay.
So no, I think Trump. I think I'll look into it, but my thing is, I think what he did there was Trump put things into order, and I think it's come to what we see today. It's created the chaos that we're in today.
Yeah, there's lots of
Joe Biden was back
there's lots of chaos.
On page news again.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. As soon as Biden came, it was front page news. Someone did make a good point the other day. If Trump was doing what Trudeau is doing, would there be a different reaction to it? Quite possibly.
Well, can you imagine if we had Starmer in instead of Boris during this whole thing?
I wonder. Well, I mean, yes, I know. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, gentlemen. We're going to keep it short and sweet. It's been Lessons for Life, and it's a pleasure to chat with you. I said I'd do it every Monday. I might be late sometimes, and I might have missed the past 2 weeks, but it's tough. It's tough being a parent. My little boy just turned 1, so we're kind of getting over all the partying. But it was great fun. Right, we'll do it again next Monday, same time, same place. We were here, and we are gone. Latest.